Welcome, welcome to Quarantine with Styles. Finally got a episode to not be doing film breakdown. Hope everybody's doing well, man. This is really gonna be an open format. Not sure what I'm gonna do. Got a lot of stuff considering. Wish I would have decided on what angle I was gonna go before, but we're gonna start off with this because I was on Larry Glover show this afternoon. And I have been stating for a long time that the players are so much at fault. And people get on me about that. And I have no problem with saying what I say and believing what I believe. I'm not saying that coaches are not at fault at all, because everybody's at fault. But what the piece that gets me every time is that we praise these guys for coaching because we everybody harping or was harping on we had a 2-star and a 3-star guy we got into the league and how great that was and the coaching. We're a development like factory, so to speak. We develop players. That's coaching, right? To develop players is coaching from a fan standpoint. But now all of a sudden we can't coach. It's not that, man. Um, as if you watched the show last night with myself and Anthony White on the locker, we go Tuesday and Thursdays, 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We had South Carolina quarterback Anthony Wright, who played during my time and A. White's time at Kentucky. And he said something that was so important that hit me is he has a son who's in high school freshman. And he said that when his son goes to college, he wants him to play with dogs. He don't want his son being the only dog or one of few dogs on a team. And that's so I mean, dude, that is so important. Because you want other guys who are willing to toe the line just like you are all the time. Not just when times are going well, but all the time. And that hit me because that has happened in the past at Kentucky. And it's something that's interesting is that it's not always the most talented team that wins. It's the team that plays for each other and holds on to that rope with the same intensity that their brothers is holding on the rope. They're not holding on two ropes. They're not dividing their time between their personal, individual accolades and the team accolades. Because you're holding on to two ropes, it weakens both of them. That's why you got to hold on to one. When you hold on to one, those individual accolades will come along with the team accolades. And sometimes it doesn't seem like we're always holding on to the same rope. Because sometimes it's like some players don't give it their all the time. Now, you can say that's coaching because the most important thing to any athlete is playing time. So what you could do is pull his ass out the game. That is what you could do. But when the sport became a money pit, it's hard to do that now. Because when you're making $5, $6, $7 million a year to win games, you're not making $5, $6, $7 million a year to develop young men that are going to be valuable to society. You are paid that amount of money to get W's in the win column. It's really just that simple. Back when I played, the coach was making $1 million. most of them less than that. It was about developing young men. Now it's more than that. So now sometimes you have to take on stuff that you probably don't want to take on. And sometimes you have to make decisions, business decisions, that are different than what you would make back in the day. It's it's a different situation now, man. And we all have to acknowledge that it's different. The same way it was different when my dad was playing high school football. Coaches used to grab them by the face mask and slap them side the head, push them on the ground, do things like that, which they couldn't do when I was coming up, when I was in high school. So times change, and we have to adapt, and we have to sort of adhere to it a little bit. Now, I'm gonna say this: there's two guys that are big. I don't want to say enigmas, but big talking points with this program. It's the quarterback position and the OC. I'm gonna deal with the quarterback first. I like T-Dub. Now, is he the best quarterback ever? Is he on the level of Kyle Trask and Kellen Mond and Mac Jones? Mm, mm. The Mac Jones one got me. Hold on, the Kyle Trask and the Trevor Lawrence, the Justin Fields, those guys? No, he's not. There's not many out there that are on that level anyway. But Terry's not at that level. He's not. He's not a difference maker quarterback. There are not that many of those guys anyway. But the damn guy won 10 games a couple years ago. All people gonna say, well, it's a defense. Well, damn. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna grade quarterbacks by wins and losses, or we're gonna grade quarterbacks by different variables every damn time because you might not like the quarterback? Let me tell you something. He has a lot. His windows are a lot smaller than everybody else. For example, look at Mac Jones. Mac Jones isn't special now. But you know what Mac Jones has? He has guys who create separation. Period. Look at all the passes Mac Jones throw. How many times is he throwing to guys who are at least a step by their defender? Now, Mac Jones does have Sark. Is Sark a better OC than Eddie Gran? Yes, he is. Could Sark come to Kentucky and put up crazy numbers? No. It's easier to call plays when you got Waddle, Smith, Mitchie. It's easy to call plays. Why is something's going on with my camera? Hold on. Why is it? It's easy to call plays, man. I know I've talked about this before, but I've coached before. I've coached, not big time, but I've coached trying to give back to the community. I coach. Man, my screen is horrible. I apologize for the screen. Something up with my camera. But I have coached young kids. I coached my son's basketball team for about 4 years. Went from the Y to summer YBOA, AAU, whatever you want to call it. Now, when we was with the Y, we was pretty damn good. But those kids were just Y kids. If you know what the Y is, just kids that parents that's trying to get their kids acclimated to playing sports. So I had average kids. So when we got to summer, they got exposed. And I was making, the system I was running was pretty simple. It was basically just motion, pass, and cut with some variations after that. But we couldn't even get through the pass and cut. So coach was like, man, I see what you're doing, but it's not working. I'm like, dude, I can't get them to do what they want, what I'm asking them to do. I had parents come to my practice so they can see exactly. And they was like, well, damn, I don't know what to say. During games, they just freeze. So even though I had a great system, when we ran it properly, we did very well. For example, we ran against the Y, against lesser talented people, and they felt confident in themselves to play basketball, right? Once they got against better competition, they forgot what they were coached. All right. So now that's one case. I'm a pretty good coach, average players according to competition, i.e., playing a regular 12 game season to playing a 10-game SEC season. We went from playing an easier schedule, so to speak, than playing a damn hardest schedule in the conference. And we were one of the only teams that fucking plays 10 games this year. That's freaking crazy with the shit that we have gone through these last couple of weeks. But nonetheless, okay? So then my son runs track. Really good athlete. Very good at track. I'm the same coach. Now because I coach my daughter too. Now that I got really good athletes, now it looks like I'm the best coach ever. My son is a national club champion, runner up at nationals. My daughter has made it to nationals every year in the age group. Now people ask me, "Oh man, can you coach our kid?" I'm sorry. I look better because I'm coaching better talent. So the reason I said that leads to me with Eddie Gran. Eddie Gran got here in 16, not in 16, he had a lot of really good talent at the receiver. Not game changing talent, but he had good talent. He had Juice, he had Baker, he had Badette. And they came out throwing the damn ball around. All these people who are screaming about philosophy is BS. Not philosophy. It's coaching to the talent. Okay? So that year, the first couple of games was the first game really, because Drew didn't make, I think, out of the. Did he make out of the first game? Or did he make the first game? I can't remember. He didn't. I think he didn't make out of the first game. I think he threw 36 passes that game too. Don't ask me. I have a memory of an elephant. I think he threw 30 plus passes that game. All right. Then Steven Johnson had to come in. And then we became a push the ball down the field, deep throwing, play action ball team. We had to become that because that was the best, that the players that we had, the quarterback that we had, that was his strength. Play action, push the ball down the field. He was tough as nails. A lot of people fucking complained about Steven Johnson those couple of years. Then when he left, then they realized, oh, he was injured. Now he becomes a damn hero. Okay? So that's really two offenses that we ran. Philosophy had to change because we had a different quarterback. Then we started highlighting Benny Snell. Then T-Dub came. Guy with some speed, straight line speed, who can throw it. We had Lynn Bowden, who was coming into himself. We were throwing the ball deep down the field. I don't know if you remember the Florida game. We was pushing the ball down the field. Now, I'm going to say this. Is Coach Gran creating Lane Kiffin type of creative plays? No, he's not. That is true. But I'm going to say one thing. Coach Stoops tried to do it. He brought in Neil Brown and brought in Shannon Dawson. Didn't work out. Now, if Coach Gran had the talent at Alabama, could he put up a lot of points? Hell yeah. Could he put up as many points as Sark? Possibly. But when you're coaching those athletes, it's easy to fucking call plays. I'm just letting you know. Name me one guy in their receiving room that can go to Alabama right now and be on the top 2 in the depth chart. I don't think there's anyone. When you're coaching extreme talent, it makes you look good. And I'm going to keep saying this until people don't want to hear me no more and stop watching, which will be fine with me, is that you expect Coach Stoops and that coaching staff to go out of state and get the best players from these other states that have great schools in their state come to Kentucky. It's not going to happen consistently. It's not. Happens. We got Justin Rogers this year. Coaches are doing a damn good job recruiting, though. I'm telling you, the stuff that the players that we're getting is players I thought we would never get. But I must say this real quickly. I don't know if you guys saw the little clip of the guy from Texas running on the field and hitting the official. Exactly, BT Mac. Ali would be on that Bama team. He wouldn't even be a third option. He might be a backup to Mitchie, Waddle, and Smith. I know Waddle is out, but I'm just saying he would be a backup. He wouldn't get the field that much. So we're recruiting our ass off. But like I said, you saw the guy who hit the ref. Some of these guys, these high ranked guys, come with attitude. Are you willing to take that on? Bubba, what's the point to what? What's the point to that? I don't know which one. But so we're recruiting our ass off, but sometimes you get these guys in that can become locker room issues. When you get top players, sometimes they come with some baggage that you don't want. And it's hard to coach that sometimes. But either or, we have missed on some wide. The only position group we are really hurting at is that wide receiver room. And the thing about it, I'm gonna say this, and I said it on Larry Glover's show today. People are underestimating the importance of Lynn Bowden coming back this year, especially with the pandemic and losing one-on-one time with a brand new coach who came in right before spring football. See, when you got, it's like, I don't know if you guys remember, if you watch the NBA, I keep this analogy up. Remember Rondo? Rondo got hurt right before the bubble, I think. Okay, I got you, Bowden. Well, Bowden got hurt. Rondo got hurt right before the bubble, and the team struggled. They still had everybody on the team except Rondo. Then when Rondo got back, it pushed everybody back in the roles that they can be successful in. And the team started clicking right during the playoff. Right in the playoffs, they started clicking. Then in the finals, they were like a well-oiled machine because Rondo allows everybody to play the role that best fits them. The same thing with Bowden. If Bowden was here, he has defensive coordinators have to game plan against him. And what it does is it leaves the other receivers more open spaces, more room to get themselves open, to run better routes. It might stop coaches from playing press, all that good stuff. So losing Bowden hurt more than what people will want to admit to. Because now I'm hardening to this. So LSU, when Les Miles was there, they recruited a guy called Ryan Perrilloux. You want to look it up. Ryan Perrilloux, Perrilleux, I think the right name. He was a highly recruited quarterback. Got to LSU. He played a little bit his freshman year, got in a little trouble. He was the next guy in line because he could spin it. Okay? But he got in trouble. So what they did was that just messed up the whole recruiting process because they had Jefferson, who was a true freshman, And Ryan was, I think, a redshirt sophomore and had experience. So he was going to have the keys for at least 2 years. He might have been a redshirt freshman for 2 to 3 years. So that means Jefferson would have had time to learn under him before he was required to play. But when Ryan got suspended and kicked out of school, it forced a true freshman to have to play. And him playing early ruined him. That's how losing one guy can really affect the team, especially in a key position. Just leaving that out there. So losing Bowden put a lot more pressure on guys whom that was not their role. Plus, add on to that the fact that we got a new wide receiver coach and he didn't have time to really work with these guys one-on-one. Now, Bubba asked me about Ali would be the third best at other SEC schools. So, you think about this as a quarterback. I played quarterback my whole life until I got to college. A lot of quarterbacks like to have a security blanket. A guy that they know is going to be where he's supposed to be and run the great route, and I can just throw it up to him, and he's going to come down with the majority of the time. We don't have that guy, okay? So Ole Miss has the slot guy, and think of the guy who got the penalty on him last year with Mississippi State, that kid. Alabama has 3, but it was Waddle, now Smith. Florida has freaking Pitts, and they have Tony. He's the next option. Auburn had Marshall. LSU has Marshall. So that's the difference. And if you are not, so those are the number ones. Like Florida has Copeland, and LSU has a slew of them. Like I told you about Bama. Ole Miss has Yarbrough, who's a tight end who's pretty good, and have another receiver that's pretty good. But what I'm saying is, Ali cannot hit the starting lineup for any of those teams. But he's our starter. He's our number one receiver. So that talent gap between the best of the best and to us is still a little wide, especially at the wide receiver position. And it's harder if he's at that level. He's probably not getting off of press man like these other schools are. Alabama, the Smiths, the Michis, the Waddles, the Copelands, the Tonys, the Guy Bowman, etc. And not separating, which makes it harder for quarterbacks to throw in college when you're not just freaking Trevor Lawrence who can just pinpoint a ball where he wants to pinpoint it. Tebow had all these yards in college because of separation by receivers. Danny Warfel was so good in college because of separation by receivers. He didn't do anything in the league because the windows get damn tight as you know what. Look at the routes that we run, and Terry being hesitant of throwing in tight windows. If he's hesitant of throwing in tight windows and receivers can't separate, he's not going to throw it. And that's an issue. But if I'm a cook and I'm trying to cook sweet potato pie and I don't have sweet potatoes, but I have pumpkin, it's not going to taste the same. And that's the same thing with Eddie Gran. He wants to cook sweet potatoes. You just don't have it. And the reason why I appreciate Gran more than others is because of his flexibility to run a shit ton of different offensive schemes. He ran a scheme at Cincinnati that's different from, he ran a scheme at Cincinnati that was similar to the Drew Barker first game. Very similar. Then he went from that to a Steven Johnson system. Then he went from a Steven Johnson system to a T-Dub system. Then he went from a T-Dub system to a Bowden system. He didn't force these quarterbacks. He didn't force Steven Johnson to be, yes, he is a little late, bluegrass, and he's late now because in 2018 he wasn't late. early in the season. He became late as the season went on. So here's the thing, BT Mac, and that's I've said this before. I don't know if I said it on the locker or said it here or both. See, here's the thing. If Coach Stoops was a GM in the NFL, he would have been fired already. He would have been fired. Because as a GM in the NFL, you get to pick the guys that come on your team. You can get, like, I don't know if you saw, there's a little thing, man, this camera's hard. There's this tweet of when Minnesota drafted Jefferson out of LSU and how I think the Eagles had the pick in front of them. When the Eagles picked Reagor, they were like jumping up for joy because they're like, we got to steal. We're going to get Jefferson. So they get to pick their players. So when people say you buy your ingredients, in college, you don't buy your ingredients. What you do in college is you do an eBay. Know how the eBay has the bidding? So you bid on products and hopefully your max is greater than the other guy's max. If you're not, you don't get it. Even though you really want that 5-star receiver, if somebody else comes above you, he goes to you. We recruit hard. Yes, losing Rondale and Wan'Dale hurt. We recruit hard. We put, if you go to the recruiting sites and look at the guys that we offer 5-star players. They just don't come. And honestly, it's going to be hard for them to come. That's why I continually say, for us to get to the level, is we're going to have to start with in-state players, which we have. We've got these in-state wide receivers. They just hasn't panned out yet. Remember when we got Ryan Timmons, we thought he was going to be that guy. He didn't turn out to be that guy. Now we got Cummins and we got Chromes the year before. They haven't hit the field yet. I keep saying this. I'm going to sound like a broken record. LSU got a bevy of wide receiver to come to LSU when they were running that crap Les Miles was running, right? They got Odell Beckham, which could have went anywhere. They got Jarvis Landry that could have went anywhere. They got Sharp that could have went anywhere. They got a lot of guys that could have went anywhere and came to LSU. You know why? Because they were local players. They want to play for the local school because they want to stay close to home. Then they built that up. And they still, the local talent here at wide receiver is ridiculous. We got to start there. We can't rest on going to Ohio State or going to Florida or going to Georgia and getting their best receiver to come here. Why? When you go to Alabama or Georgia or Florida, better traditional schools. That is what it is. Once if we can get Crowders, we can get Crowders. Hopefully Dane Key come here. Hope Dante's watching this. Dante, you got to get your son to go here. Dane Key, Crowders, Isaiah Cummins, Crooms. One of those guys got to develop. All we need is one. One. Remember when Texas A&M had Mike Evans? Even me was like, is that Johnny Manziel making Mike Evans look good? Or Mike Evans making Johnny Manziel look good? I was like on there, I think Johnny Manziel is making him look good. I was wrong. That was Mike Evans. They had one receiver that year. They had, I think his name was Swoles or Swoops, one of them. He was pretty good. But he was not. He ate because Mike Evans had to be double team or game plan against. All we need is one. You got one dog. That's why I was so pissed at Devontae Lee that I saw play at Mid with Gilmore. He would have came. Not polished, but a dog. A bona fide dog. You know why? You know what confirms he a dog? You know what LSU did? They moved into damn linebacker. That's a dog. You can play receiver and then play linebacker, you are a dog. He was a receiver, though. Just had to be polished up. He was raw as hell, but he attacked the ball, ran decent routes, and was fast. Same way Bolden was not a polished route, but he was a dog. At Kentucky, those dogs would play. At LSU, they only gonna give you a short leash, then they're gonna move you to another position because they got a room full of dogs in the wide receiver room already. So it's tough. So we need these local kids to develop, because what happens is when the ball gets rolling, then you might be able to steal a guy. Remember, all you need is one. You may be able to steal a guy once every 3 years. You might get a grad transfer to come here. That's all you need. But you can't live off of that, though. That's the most difficult thing to do. See, this is what people don't understand. Kentucky football, high school, isn't very good. They have quality. They don't have quantity. They have quality. They have some they have 3 to 4 or 4 to 5 top talent. You can't build a football team off of 4 to 5 guys because not all of them guys are going to come to your school. When you only have 13 to maybe 15 guys who are ranked in the whole state, some states have that many 4 stars. And I'm talking about all the stars are 15 in the state. That's a problem. So recruiting is an issue. You got to hit. And we haven't hit on a couple of these wide receiver recruiting classes yet. That's just the truth. If Bolden would have came back and if Isaiah Epps would have been healthy with Ali, our receiving room would have been pretty damn good. But with Bolden gone and Isaiah Epps having that foot issue, not as good. That's just facts, man. That's just facts. My issue is that many other programs can at least throw for yards. We throw worse than Navy. Okay. I'm going to tell you, here's one thing you got to look at, all right? Is sports is all about confidence, all right? When you play some of those lesser teams early, you get a little confidence. Also, you're able to try things, okay? You're able to try things, all right? And we didn't get that chance this year because we played a straight SEC schedule, and that's hard. And those corners in the SEC are in press man, and we can't get off of press. Well, BT Mac, it's hard to throw for 150 yards when you only throw the ball down 20 times. Look at the teams who are throwing for 200 yards. I'm going to say this. In 2019, we threw for an average of over 200 yards if you count the games that T-Dub start and Sawyer Smith start minus the South Carolina game when Smith was hurt. We was averaging over 200 yards a game, 230 something. But when you only throw the ball 20 times, you're not. I mean, if you average 8 yards a throw, which is damn good, 8 yards a throw, you throw it 25 times, let's say you complete it 18 times. That's right. That's 8, 60. That's barely 200 yards. There's not even 200 yards there. To really get 200 yards, people don't understand how many times you got to throw to get 200 yards. Unless your guy is just freaking automatic. He's got to complete 20 passes to get at 10 yards a pop to get 200 yards. If you complete the ball 70% of the time, which is off the chart, you're going to have to pass it 30 sometimes. I mean, that's just the raw facts. Or you got some hellified receivers that can just bust off a 60, 70 yarder every now and then. We don't have that talent on the outside yet. It's really that simple, man. You look at all 22s of other teams play, and their guys are getting open. You look at ours, we're not even getting freaking open in zone sometimes. It's just a fact. Bubba asked me, okay, let's talk defense. All right, I'll talk defense for a few minutes. Trying to think, should I start with my position or should I just start overall? Man, this camera is bothering me. I really apologize for the camera. I don't know what's going on with my camera. Defense. The biggest defensive struggle, man, is that we are not consistently given the effort that I've seen us do. See, this is a problem with film. There's a problem for a player with film. Is that once you show it on film, it proves that you can do it. You understand? If you do something on film, if I'm coaching, that means I want to see that all the time because it's proven that it's capable. But we don't do that all the time. We take plays off. We don't execute. We do our own things. We don't read our keys. And I'm going to tell you something, these damn kids are getting too much the hell in is these damn stats. I'm going to talk about my position at corner. These fucking stats about, oh, they only throw to me such and such time and blah, 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 and my rating is this. It's bullshit. Because I've seen these guys play. And they are not, I don't want to say that word. They are not as good as these damn rankings give them. I'm just telling you, they're not as good as these rankings give you. It's just facts. I've seen it. I've seen guys give up the inside on press man too damn much. That's what you got to protect. That's period. You got to protect the fucking inside and zero coverage all the time. The easiest throw is to throw right in front of the quarterback. So some of these guys get too much in these damn stats and get full of them damn selves. And that's a problem. We are, I'm going to say this. On defense, we are pretty good across the board. But sometimes these guys get selfish. Or sometimes these guys are just not doing what they're coached to do. Because I'm telling you, I know the first thing in press man is don't give up the inside if you can. And if you do, you have to recover. Second thing is these guys don't know the fucking game of football. Or they're not applying it when they're on the field, which I've seen happen too. During my playing days, guys not applying what they're taught, what they're coached, and what they know. I'm going to still harp on the damn Florida game. And this ain't the only one, but this is the one that's fresh in everybody's memory should be. The pass to Pitts, the slant route on the goal line. And how Echols just let him inside. He basically just gave him the inside because he thought he was going to run a fade route. When you're on, you know what? Hold on. Let me do this. Give me a second. I got a football thing that I can pull up. Football field. I know I got it somewhere. Woo, BT Mac. That's getting a little gritty. But yes. Could be. No doubt. But not always. Because so BT Mac asks, do our DBs suffer from going against our low tier wide receivers in practice? What it could do is give them a false sense of security. That's what it could do. It could. But you can't rest on that laurel that you're not going against. No. You have to do your job, period. Hold on. I'm about to pull this. Okay. Let's see if we can. So, all right, guys. This is real simple. I'm gonna try to do this. Can I draw on this? Can I? Yes, I can. All right. Here is really simple stuff. Not simple stuff. Because I do this to my wife because she's very good at Microsoft Excel and she doesn't understand how good she is. I keep telling her your skill set is something that most people don't get. And maybe I'm oversimplifying because maybe I can get it and other people don't. I don't know. But I think it's pretty simple. But let me do this. All right. Let me do this. From top of the numbers to the sideline is 9 yards. From the bottom, the markers, the yard line markers are 2 yards. So that's 7 yards. Okay. From I think it's from the, is it 60, 40, 60, 40? I think it's 20 yards from here to here. Yes, these markers are not right. No, I think it's 20 yards from here to here. From inside the numbers to inside the numbers is 20 yards. Let me think about this, because 53 and a third. No, it's 20 yards here, 20 yards here, and this is 13 and a third. All right. Now that's very important for a lot of reasons. Okay, because this is what you to win, in my estimation, to win in college playing corner, you have to know certain things. So, for example, if the ball is on this hash, let me go to the other hash because that's all it was in the game. Was it in the game? No, it was like this. Ball's on this hash, right? This is horrible. My writing is horrible with this because it's sideways. If the ball is on the hash and you got, let's say you got tight end, I think this is what they had with a quarterback in the back. They had Pitts here, and I think they had a wide receiver here, right? That's 6, 7, 8, 9, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They might have had another player here, another tight end. And did they motion him? I think they motioned him, and he went out to the flats or whatever. All right, but here's the most important thing as a corner. All right, even with all disregarding that, when the ball is on the damn hash, this hash, and the receiver's on the top of the numbers, he only has 9 yards of room for this quarterback to fit a fade ball in. That's difficult, okay? That's like really difficult, all right? Now, let's add on to that. Oops. Let's add on to that. This is, right? This is a 33 from here to here. Oops. Well, this is from here to here. It's like a 33-yard width. And then you got like about a 10-yard throw here. And A squared but B squared, this is longer than a 10-yard throw. Like a almost, geez, it's like a 30-yard throw almost. Like a, yes, 30-plus yard throw. 20-ish, 25 to 30-yard throw. So if I'm corner, I want him to throw that. That's a long-ass throw, and he's got to fit it within a 9-yard box. All right? So pre-snap, I already know guys at the top of the numbers. He has to come in. Now, what he's going to run an in route, I don't know. He can run, he can spread you out and come in. He can run a straight post. Whatever he's going to run, he's probably going to attack in here if he throws. Because look at the area. The amount of area the quarterback got to throw, the amount of time he can get some separation. So if the down receiver is at the down the top of the numbers, it's highly unlikely that he's going to run a down fade route, period. Because that's too long a throw and too small an area to down fit a pass in. This is football IQ as a corner. But our corner, if you remember the play, took a damn outside jab step in zero coverage against Pitts. Instead of taking an inside jab step, preventing him from going inside. But he didn't, and he then ran that and touchdown. It's really that simple. It's that simple. But when you're in this conference and you make that little mistake, it proves touchdown because Echols wasn't that far away from the ball. Now, let me give you another example, okay? And this one was hard. This one was hard. I think the ball was in the middle of the field. Something like that. And then they had a receiver and they had Pitts. Now, you have to understand that right now, as a DB, this guy can do anything. So this right here is an advantage of the receiver because Pitts did a little Tim route and Corker did nothing wrong. He didn't take his eyes off his receiver. That's just hard, right? Because the ball's in the middle field. He can go here or he can go there. He can go either way. That's difficult for a corner. Now, let's say the ball was right here and the receiver's on the bottom of the numbers. As a corner, I'm thinking they can potentially, if the quarterback's here, they can potentially boot. And if they boot, now he's coming across. Okay? But I'm going to be patient. The route that I'm really sitting on right now, same problem is now they only got 7 yards of thing. The throw to fade is going to be really difficult. What I'm waiting for is the down back shoulder fade. For him to go here and for the quarterback to throw that thing right to that pylon. So I'm going to be as physical as hell on him. But you got to know where you are. You got to know where the ball is. You also got to know down and distance. Okay? That's all the stuff you have to know all this stuff pre-snap to be able to fucking compete in this conference. If this guy is on the bottom of the numbers, I'm in my head eliminating routes that he gonna run. Right now, he can't run an out route. Ain't no damn room. He can't run a corner route. Ain't no damn room. He can't run a comeback because it's on the goal line. So I just eliminate 3 routes off top. It's gonna be difficult for him to throw a fade because there ain't enough room. The margin of error for that quarterback to fit it in is really small. So the fade, can they throw it? Sure. Highly unlikely. But you know what they can do is make it look like a fade and throw the back shoulder. So I'm not going to try to get over the top of the receiver. I'm going to stay as hard on his damn ass and maybe play a little bit under him, playing for the damn back shoulder fade. I'm going to play his hands on the fade. All right. Now I'm going to come back to here, right? We had this against somebody, Ole Miss, I think. We had a corner here. Same thing here. All he can do is go here. That's all he can do. He cannot. He's not going here. Too long a throw and too small a window. Guys are not studying the game, not trying to beat the guys with their head and with their mind. I'm going to say this. That's the only way I survive in this conference. That's the only way. Only way I survived in this conference was knowing football. Oops, I can't do that. Sorry, guys. Only way I survived in this conference was knowing that. Playing the mind game. Period. And Bubba will tell you this. They said I was doing stuff in practice and like sitting, but I was just playing the mind game. So, like most of the guys on my team in DBs would not pay attention to where the damn ball was. Because in 101, the ball would be in the middle of the field sometimes. It'll be on the near hash or it'll be on the opposite hash. Well, damn, if it's on the near hash and he lines up in a certain position, I'm not playing routes. What I did, what my strategy was, let me test my IQ in 101. If I test my IQ in 101, because there's only a certain amount of damn routes you can run. It ain't like you can create new fucking routes. You got routes. You got a route tree, and those are routes you're going to run. Well, I play quarterback. I know the route tree. So in that route tree, I'm eliminating routes. I'm eliminating 1, 3, 4, 7. So then only chance you can run 9, a 2, a such and such. And I'm playing those routes. That's how I played it. For example, in the middle of the field, just for example, if the receiver's on the top, these are things you got to know. These are things that I still know to this day. The ball's on the near hash, the receiver's on the top of the numbers or a little bit in. Know what I feel like he's going to run? Probably a comeback. In 101, he's probably going to run a comeback. That's the number one route I'm guarding. He might run a fade because he's trying to give him his quarterback some room. Okay? Now it depends on what's his release. Okay? If if he's on the top of the numbers and the ball's on the near hash and he does an inside release, you know what he might run? He might run a damn corner route because he's trying to give himself some space to run a damn corner. Now, it depends on how inside release it is. If he's releasing hard inside, it's definitely a damn corner route. Those are the games I played, and those are games I played in practice as muscle memory. So now I'm like, top of the numbers, you release inside like that, corner route. Or they can also set you up and run a damn dig route. But if you're in the top of the numbers and run a dig route, the quarterback better be rolling out. Because if he does a dig route from the top of the numbers, by the time he's verticals on his stem, he's going to be like almost on top of the ball. And once he breaks, he's going to be not in front of the quarterback, which makes it hard to throw. You want that dig route in the down window between linebackers. And that's not a very good thing. So those are the things I'm thinking about. But you know what? For me, I thought about that pre-snap. I thought about that in the meeting room. I thought about that in my room when I'm thinking about football and not studying. So then when I'm in a game, it's fucking muscle memory. I'm not thinking totally, oh my God, this is what he's gonna know. I already know in my head. He's doing this is what he's gonna run. That's how I play. And these guys, football IQ, because these guys are much better athletes than I was. Definitely than I am. Shit. I'm horrible now. But if you marry their athletic ability to film study, if you merge those two, that's when greatness happens. Like that damn ball that Eccles just misplayed, it wouldn't happen. You gotta play. And these guys, shit, I'm going over. And these guys have an iPad that they can pull up shit in their room that's damn already cut up. You don't have to fast forward through practice. You can say 3rd down and 5s. Give me those plays. You can say, give me all the one-on-one plays with just me. You give me all the one-on-one plays with Ali. You can give me all the one-on-one plays with whatever. You can give me 7-on-7, such and such. Because I already cut up and queued up. Those guys have so much of an advantage right now. But I don't think the majority of them are using it. Just facts, man. Because their IQ with seeing stuff and playing it, we are reacting too much. Not muscle memory reacting too much. We don't even read damn linemen. Damn Q is telling you they're going to pass it because the damn linemen are damn soft on their hands. Trust your damn nose guard. He will know. We don't read the damn uncovered guard very well to see if he's coming down the field or not. Recognizing pass or run right away. Corker does a really good job of that. But some other players don't. You got to. You cannot do what you did in high school and college. I'm going to keep saying this. High school. Most of these guys are the best guy on the field. They're the best guy on the field. Best 2 to 3 guys on the field on every game. Okay? When you get to college, all the guys, your teammates, were the best guys on the field in high school. You're playing against equal. You're playing against closer talent to what your talent is. So therefore, you're not just going to out-athlete somebody. Know how you beat them? Now you can't out-athlete them? Here. By film study, by repetition, by visualizing, by going through your play, by knowing what's the damn strength and the weakness of every coverage, by knowing if I'm playing with number 23 at my will linebacker, he's not good in curl flat. So I better be cognizant of curl flat. Those kind of things, you got to educate yourself as a DB. Now, linebackers the same way. It just goes down the line. But these guys got to freaking... You're in college because you're down football skills. You're getting a free education. Take advantage of it. No doubt. Also, you're there to be a freaking football player. Put as much time in your study as you put in football study. It's not just go to class, come to football practice, do some homework, and you're done. Go to class, come to football, academic study, football study. Take your ass to sleep. Take your ass to sleep. Because you know what? You all feel like 18 to 21, I've got to party my life away now. When you got the down from 22 to whenever, to party as much as you want. This is a time, if y'all really are football players, to hone your craft. So possibly you can get to the next level. You don't want to get to the next level not being able to study film because your ass is going to be exposed with the quickness. All right, guys, that's an hour. I usually do 30 minutes. I appreciate all you guys watching. BT Mac, Bubba, as always, I appreciate you, brother. Bluegrass, appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in. And I will see you guys next week, hopefully after a season-ending win. Thanks for watching. You guys have an outstanding weekend.